Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You know, there's no smoke without fire somewhere. So when this article that will feature in this video came out, it doesn't come as a surprise to me, but the timing rings some clink, 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 some bells somewhere right here. What happened? They tell us, the Ukrainians are telling us the amount of Russian troops on the northern border, or at least on the border with Ukraine, where we don't have an, how should I put it, a contact line between the troops. They shell one another, but there's no troops clashes, and there's this Chernihiv and Sumy Oblasts. The Russians, if you are aware, are advancing in Kupiansk, Avdiivka, Marinka, and they try to destroy the Ukrainians in the Dnieper River, where the Ukrainians claim that they crossed in Krinky. They crossed on the left bank of the Dnieper River, the east bank. So these are the areas. On top of that, the Russians intensified their attacks, missile and drone attacks on Ukraine in the past 2 weeks. There's some problems with funding, which I think will be solved by the Americans, but all of this I will put together with this article, and I'm claiming that, or predicting, the Russians could start an attack invading Ukraine in the northeast, not from the Belarusian border, from where it ends Belarus and starts Russia. I will show you maps. But first, let's go and read this article coming from Ukrinform, as I said. Russia keeps 19,000 troops on Ukraine's northern borders, plural, defense forces. Russia keeps a 19,000 strong military contingent on Ukraine's northern borders, but the creation of a strike group of Russian troops is not being recorded. But why do you mention it now, buddy? So I'm skeptical. They don't want to tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, because they don't want to scare the Ukrainians. So they would be attacked from the left. So I'm going to show you on the map as soon as I read the oblasts these guys say that are targeted. Yuri Povk, spokesperson. It's a spokesperson. We don't know Yuri. Are you a man or a woman? We don't know. You're a person. For the Joint Press Center of Ukraine's Northern Defense Forces said this on Ukrainian television, according to Ukrinform correspondent, and I'm quoting, about 19,000 members of the contingent of Russian troops are concentrated near Russia's border with the Sumy and Chernihiv regions. This indicator has not changed for several months, so it is unnecessary to say that there are signs of the creation of any strike groups by the enemy. Then why in the you're mention it? If it's nothing, it's the same thing as it was for the past several months. Why do you mention it, person? This is a contingent that can be characterized as border covering troops. Okay, so why do you mention? Again, no, my friends, no, I refuse. But anyway, it is not a strike force capable of breaking through the belt formation of our troops. Okay, so this is where they try to build trust and, keep the morale out. It is not a strike force capable of breaking, but they are over there. Why do you mention them? What's the need of you mentioning that if there's nothing? Therefore, I say once again, okay, there is not a sign of the creation of a strike group of troops. Yeah, but it seems like you're a little bit concerned with these 19,000 troops, aren't you? Let's go and see where they are located on the map. And here is the map of Ukraine, obviously. Let me take my melon out. Here you have it. So this is Chernihiv or Chernigov by the Russians, and this is Sumy Oblast. So this is where the 19,000 troops are located, in this area right here, where they're not actively, in this kind of color right here. This is the front where the clashes face-to-face occur. Here is just bombarding left and right, piki piki, moko moko. But here is where the Russians have 19,000 troops. And they say, oh, don't worry about it. There's nothing, but we just mention it. Why do you mention it? Because something I suspect will happen over there in the near future. That's just me. According to him, the enemy is using barrel artillery, 120mm mortars, FPV drones and aircraft in this sector. If you look at the map, this is just what the Ukrainians are shelling, the blue little dots here, but this is from the 7th. They didn't update it because these are weasels. So it's just you don't see attacks. There's nothing like this here, like the red colored. At this time, we can say that the enemy is conducting harassing fire to a greater extent. According to him, Ukrainian forces staying on the border are preventing the passage of the enemy's subversive groups. And I'm quoting, control over the state border is permanent. Is as permanent as it was when the Russians came from the north and got to Kiev from Belarus. So permanent that they got right here to you and in this area. That's how permanent that was. And then they decided to withdraw, or a goodwill gesture, the Russians are saying. And I partly believe that because, with time we get more information and we find out that they did it because, claiming the Russians claim, because they started negotiating with the Ukrainians. But that was, I think, again, a dumb move. And I think shows, and I don't understand how, the naivete of the Russian commanders or whomever is in charge over there. How many times do you need to get burned in order to understand? Probably they wanted too much the war to end as at that point, therefore, but that's a big order, don't you think? All those troops already in Kiev, go back to Belarus. They were not pushed back. They were not pushed back. You can say it how much you want. They were ordered to go back. Now, they were ordered because they were afraid. So we get to the point and then we say, oh, you know what? Change my mind. Maybe. It's not impossible, but what the reasons behind this are, we don't know yet. We have only bits and pieces from the Russians and from the Ukrainians saying that we pushed them back. We said, blah, 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 and they got scared and left. This is the Ukrainian version, and the Russian version is, we are gentlemen, we're gonna move back after we came in. All right, my friends, here it is. The article with the 19,000 troops at the border. Will they invade? Yeah, they could be. With 19, I don't know how much the Ukrainians have, but 19 is a good amount to harass, not only with bombardments, with shelling, but with advance of troops. That's why the Ukrainians cannot take their defense troops and whatever they have over there as weapons and transfer them to the hotspots. Hotspot meaning where these guys advance or attempt to advance. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.